Hi guys, I'm just gonna get right into it because I know there's a lot of people doing this, sitting in their car and talking about their life thing. The difference between this video and those is that I want to be a little more positive and gentle. A lot of those videos, people say I'm a loser, like speaking for themselves, or say they have no friends. I'll tell you what, I'll save a spoiler for the end of the video, but imagine you're like me, 30, right? And you've got one friend and you have no girlfriend at 30. And I do have a car and a job, and that's a lot to be thankful for. But it's not enough for a lot of people. A lot of people that I know, a lot of people that I work with and that I see online. So what I want to say is that no matter how much you feel like you wasted your 20s because you didn't reach your full potential, you have to realize that what we imagine our potential as when we're younger is, it has to face up to, I don't want to say reality, but when I was younger, I didn't think that I wouldn't be married by 30, but thank fucking God I am not married. And I've had a relationship in the past where there was dishonesty, and where, I thought that I was going to be a dad. And you have all these ups and downs in life. And even though I only have one friend who's my roommate, again, people would say that's cheating, that doesn't count. And I've got no girlfriend. Why am I not depressed? Even though I've been no contact with my biological dad for 4 years, why am I not depressed? Well, what's going on? Why am I not lonely? I do have a dog, which kind of helps, but I think the real answer, and it's not easy, would be therapy and anger management if you need it. Especially for young men, there's not really a get rich quick, you should just work out, get jacked, fuck your exes kind of mentality. That's what I had till I was 24. By the time I was 24, I was getting no dates. So I just really feel for the young men growing up now, because I don't relate to their issues, but I do relate to that anger and that rage. And when you have an abusive parent like my dad, that's kind of a direction that a lot of men go in. And I can recommend some books. A great one is 101 Essays to Change the Way You Think. I would start with that. It's not really a self-help thing. It's more like trying to get you to change your perspective, have like a paradigm shift. I want, the young men and women to succeed. I wish that when I was 18, someone older would approach me and be like, I know you need a male role model. Here's what I'm doing. Here's how I budget. Here's how I finance. Here's everything I do. Here's my routine. Here's how I organize my house. Here's where I hang up my keys for my car. These things that I was never taught. How to shave, So when you see these videos with people sitting in their cars talking about how they're losers, they're not. And I know that most of the time in their videos, they admit that they're not. But that's because no one's a loser. Do you give yourself credit? I've been through a ton of shit, but I don't want it to be about me in this video. I don't want to talk about all my stuff. I feel like that's what every video is. I want you to think about what's all this shit you've been through, and you still are here. You're still trying to cope. You're on YouTube trying to get some entertainment. So I know that you're alive and that you are trying to cope and trying to survive. Everything is so hard right now. Everything's so expensive. I don't want to ramble for too long. It's just that even though I'm 30, I feel like all of us millennials are still children, and not in a mean way. It's just, we're all like latchkey kids, you know? Oh, that's awkward. I guess that's going to be the end of the video, because that's a good time to cut it. But you guys, you're not a loser. That's all I have to say. And I know that probably doesn't sound like much coming from a gamer with no girlfriend, but that's just how it is. You know, I'm telling you that you're not a loser, because you've survived shit that I wouldn't be able to handle. And that's how it is with all of us. So go read 101 essays to change your mind, and go to therapy. And if you have a good relationship with your mom or your dad, call them and say that you love them. It sounds easy, but it's really hard. But those are my 3, that's my homework. For anyone who cares, call your parents, go to therapy, and read some books. It sounds corny, but, you know, just hang in there. Eventually, you'll stop feeling the way you do, because you'll stop wanting the things you want, thinking the way you think, you know, like people wanting to be married and have kids by 30, have a house by 30. I know it sounds depressing to be like, well, those aren't realistic goals, but that's not what happiness is. You don't need to have the whole world to be happy. I have the whole world because I have a friend, because I have a dog. And even if I didn't have a friend or a dog, I would have the whole world, because I'm cool. I know that I've been through a lot of shit, and that I've been to therapy, and I know that I'm, you know, I know what I'm worth. And there's not an easy way to learn your value. You can't cheat it. You just have to, you know, you have to do, even if you don't want to do therapy, you have to meditate. And I know that sounds really generalized, but it's like, I'm not a therapist. You need to get therapy. And I know therapy is expensive, but if you look online, there's art therapy, which is not a great alternative, but do anything, you know, cultivate some positive habits that are healthy, you know. Do you brush your teeth every day? If not, start there. And if you do, then that's something to be proud of. If you didn't give a fuck, if you were a loser, would you not brush your teeth? Yeah, and you do. So just, it's not even about count your blessings. It's about give yourself credit. Not some credit. Give yourself credit every fucking time that you wake up and do something you don't want to do. Go to work, go to school. Anytime things are hard on you and you survive, you should feel proud, because you overcome obstacles in your life, and that's what it's about. And now at this point, I am just rambling, so I am actually going to end the video. And I never wanted to show my face on my YouTube channel. I just wanted to make, you know, fun videos. But I've been thinking about this for a long time, because I'm a neckbeard and I'm chronically online, and I just see young people hurting and saying that they're lonely, and it's not an easy cure. But what worked for me was therapy, introspection, meditation. Exercise helps too, but everyone needs exercise. Getting jacked is just overcompensation. You can get jacked. I'm not trying to say that, but, you know, to the guys, the pickup artists, gym bros, it's like, yeah, that's a toxic way to live. Because when I was 18, 19, 20, that was my lifestyle. And as someone who's been there, I can tell you that it doesn't work. It's not sustainable, you know? You don't want to be a guy who's like 35 and can still only date people who are basically 18 and 19, because that's where you are mentally. And I don't mean that as a slight to people who are 18 or 19 years old, but I just mean that your mindset should change. You know, that's how we survive. So anyways, thanks for watching, if you did. And don't feel too bad. Don't feel like you're behind. Everyone is struggling right now. And people who aren't struggling are getting behind the scenes help. I got help from my mom. Everyone gets help. And if you need help, there's a bunch of resources. I will put some stuff in the description, but something you should think about is if you're not making a lot of money, you should really look into food stamps. You know, there's a lot of help out there that people don't know is available to them. So, you know, reach out. If there's anyone you feel comfortable with, friends, family, you know, religious, like priest or whatever. I don't know what you call it. Like when you're at church, if you got rabbi or something, teachers, guidance counselors, talk to someone, you know, especially if you feel lonely. There's nothing wrong with those feelings, but you want to face them, you know, head on. You know, you don't want to hide from your feelings. So that's just my advice for what it's worth. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not really successful by capitalist like measures, but you know, my mom and my therapist say that I am emotionally mature, which is something I think all people, especially young men now, should really aspire to. That should be your goal. Being able to let things roll off your back, being able to forgive people who wrong you, and being able to understand that when people hurt you, it's because of them, not you. And it really makes life easier when you're not angry all the time or regretting the past all the time. And learning to let go is something I could never teach you and I could never do on my own. So, like I said, I'll put some stuff in the description, and yeah, this will actually be the end of the video. So thank you guys. No more weird content like this. I promise. Pinky promise.